What are you doing?
Oh, actually remounting some plastic because we have 2 new molds today, which I'm super stoked to show you guys. I actually started recording this video, was it a week ago? Yeah, a week ago, and we had like 3 days of footage, and it was just so much going on, and the bait evolved from one bait into 2 baits. So we have 2 new molds for you guys today. The 4.3-inch sleigh bait and the 4.4-inch chatterbait, and they are kind of similar baits. We were going for initially an awesome chatterbait trailer slash swim bait that had not a big tail kick, just a little bit of tail flutter in it. And that's where the chatterbait is. It shines on chatterbaits. That's why we called it the chatterbait. And then the second mold, the other one is the 4.3-inch sleigh bait. They're both 3 cavities, very similar. This has got a smaller shad, more streamlined shad profile. They both have full detail. You're just dying to see them now, aren't you? And this one has a paddle tail. Let's shoot them so we can show you. I should mention also, both molds are labeled back belly. I know a lot of you guys love that. That way you can line them up and you know they're the right way, so you don't shoot the colors backwards. Get a little dot. Whoa. The 2 remounts we're doing today, it's going to be kind of like a white and a kind of a cool like multicolored blue gold color shift that we have. These are so foggy I can barely like see out of these. If you're gonna remelt plastic like this, we like to chop it up with a pair of scissors into little cubes or little chunks. That way it helps to kind of melt down more evenly than like a giant puck or blob of it. Also, make sure you stir it every 30 seconds or minute, because as it starts to run down to the bottom, that bottom will start to heat up and you'll burn that bottom. So you just gotta turn it into the chunks to make sure it's all evenly heating up. I've also realized that if you are degassing your plastisol, which I think you should, the higher the temperature is, like if it's at 370, 380 when you degas it, the less you're going to get that like foaming bubble kind of mushroom cloud thing to come off the top and spill over. Alright, so we are at 330 and 340. So I'm going to heat this one up just a little bit. We want both cups of plastisol to be about the exact same temperature, so we want to be between 320, 330 degrees, same temperature, so that when we shoot the 2 colors into the mold, they're the same consistency. So as the plastisol goes down into the cavity, they kind of laminate perfectly in line with each other, instead of one being like one wrapping around the other because it's more liquid, or vice versa. Only takes like 4 seconds to bump that temperature up like 4 or 5 degrees, because this one's also cooling as we're heating this one up. So now this is at 334, and this is at 336. So that's good enough, 2 degree difference. Take our dual injector here. I'm gonna line it up so belly is on the left, back is on my right. So I'm gonna line these up the right way. My block on here. One. So this is a mixing block right here, down here. This is taking the colors from my 2 injectors and putting them into one port. So both these are shooting in together into the central port. This allows you to shoot baits with 2 colors, and there's even a triple, which I'll show you in a second. But that thing is a beast. You need to literally like hit the gym and be super buff to push that thing down. But a lot of people do duals. You can also do just 1 color if you want to do just 1 color with this. Ooh, that might have been some air in that one. It kind of was like chunking down. Yeah, I ran out there at the end. See if we could save it. There's some air in there. Okay. Here's that triple I was telling you guys about. It is a beast. And just so you guys know exactly what's going on inside here, let me show you. This is the inside of the block. So you can see here the 2 colors kind of came down each side and then came out the center hole. So if you look at this together, takes the two colors in, one color out. So you can do one color in each of these. And I should definitely be watching these. These are sucking down a little bit, but they're not sucking down to the cavity, which is good if you know you have a long enough sprue on there. All right, let's demold these guys. I also have over here a giant thing of just regular tap water, and I have some ice in it. I make it nice and cold, so when I demold these, I can put them right into my ice water, and it cools them down in like 2-3 minutes. Because we're gonna go test these today. So let's start with the 4.4 inch Chatterbait. This was the original design we started making. Ooh. Let me come around. Check that out. Those are looking so good. So there's two different style baits here. They are identical, except for one has a belly hook slot in it, and the other one has no hook slot. That is because this bait can be rigged on a jig head or a chatterbait, which is like its main purpose, chatterbaits all day long. And the back hook slot is very big. So if you see that, it opens up when you have a fish bite the hook, you know, when you hook set, this will open up and it will kind of like allow the hook to come out of the bait a little more, which would be awesome. The tail on this is 2 paddles on the end of a truly shad looking tail, which is awesome. And then on the back here, right here, you see there's 2 kind of notches. They're hard to see, but there's 2 little notches there, and that is to give the tail a little more action overall with the chatterbait. You want the bait to basically controlled by the blade on the bladed jig or the chatterbait. So you want this whole body to be kicking around, and you don't want these tails to be overpowering what the chatterbait's doing. So that's why we designed these small tails. They still have a lot of action in them. And because we have the hook slot in the belly there, you can actually throw this on a swim bait hook with a underspin. And the reason you can do that is because this insert can be turned around. So if I show you here, the insert lines up with the belly, or if it's turned around, that's what creates that hook slot. Let me show you the mold. Here's the mold. You can see here this insert can go this way, which gives you no hook slot, or you can flip it around. If I can line it up, there you go, and then you have a hook slot. And then these are the back inserts. Those are bolted in. So when you take your bait out, just roll it towards that little insert and pull it out. That way you don't have to mess around with loading this guy in every single time, and it just stays right in place. All right, here's the second mold. This is the 4.3 inch sleigh bait 3 cavity. And you're gonna notice very similar overall style of bait. When we were designing the Chatterbait, we were like, man, there's really 2 baits here, and we need one with a paddle tail, because as you know, with a chatterbait, you don't want powerful paddle tail. It's going to mess with the vibration of the blade on the front. So we made something for you guys that want a more sleek profile, or want to fish on swim bait hooks, or want that kicking paddle tail. Here it is. Don't forget that's the one that had air bubbles in it, and you can see it did definitely run on plastisol. Look at that. This has a belly hook slot and a little bit smaller back hook slot, because this bait's not as shad profile, not as big this way. And this one has no hook slot, so you could throw this on your jig head if you're fishing saltwater or lake trout or whatever you throw this for on a jig head. And then this is the one you could throw on a swim bait hook with a weighted belly, or with just a flashy spinner underneath there, like a willow blade underneath there. And we maintain that realistic shad style tail from the side, but then if you look at the end, you have that full-on little mini boot tail profile. So this has an actual kicking side to side shape, and we included that little bitty eyeball spot there for the 0.25 1/4 inch eye. You can also use 8mm on there. It's a little smaller, but it works. As you can see, check that out though. Look at that. Look at how it laminates. Let me get the other one. It just laminates like awesome on either one. And let me show you those 2 side by side. You can see this is the Chatterbait over here. It has the 2 paddles. They're smaller on each tail fin. Same overall profile, but it's thinner. And then this one over here, that's the sleigh bait that has 1 paddle tail, so it has a kicking swimming action. I mean, these are awesome. I love these things. All right, now that we got these all cooled down and ready to rock, we're gonna take these out and show you guys some awesome swimming footage. We're taking both style baits, the chatterbait and the sleigh bait, both with belly inserts and without belly inserts, and we'll do a bunch of different rigging, talk over it so you know what's what, and we're gonna get these babies put up on the site. So we're here at Sebastian Inlet. We're gonna do some testing. We brought a bunch of baits we also made, and then over here, show them all these rods. We got a bunch of rods rigged up, and I don't know, I've been pretty crazy about trying this. I got my snorkel gear, got my old school free diving fins, for if any of you remember, man, I used to do a lot of free diving. Gonna throw them on and swim around. She's gonna cast me and we'll see what we get. Bit on there. Keep it from fogging.
This is a 4.4-inch chatterbait on a jig head. The 4.4-inch chatterbait on a bladed swim bait hook.
Here she goes. There's a manatee? She said there's a manatee out here. Should we go find it? Where is it? In here? She said it's right over here. Let me go see. God, do you see the size of that tail? It was like 2 feet across. That was crazy. I got the tail. It was huge. That was awesome. All right, let's do the lure.
.4-inch chatterbait on a 4/0 beast hook. .4-inch chatterbait on a chatterbait. Changing them out.
Get everything switched out. That was so freaking cool. This is now going to be the 4.3 on the chatterbait, and the other one looks awesome. And that manatee was cool. Look at these guys. Look at those fish they caught. Sure.
Oh my god. I think it's bunker.
Wow, there's like literally like 1,000 bait over there. It's awesome. So much fish right now. I love this.
4.3-inch sleigh bait on a chatterbait. .3 sleigh bait on a jig head. .3-inch sleigh bait on a 6/0 beast hook. .3-inch sleigh bait with a bladed underspin swim bait hook.
Alright guys, that is it. I hope you loved that swim footage as much as I loved filming that. That was super, super cool. We're going to head back to the shop, get all this stuff wrapped up, put together. Molds are going to be on the site right now. So go check them out. The 4.4 chatterbait, sounds like chatterbait, and the 4.3-inch sleigh bait. So go check those out, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you around.